Brandon Ingram and this New Orleans Pelicans team are on a roll to start the season, and for a while now, Ingram has been playing at a high level. Tending to be overlooked because he isn't playing on a big market team, Ingram is definitely better than most people would think. Scoring the ball at all three levels, making it look easy, he uses his length to his advantage around the rim, methodically gets to his spots around the floor, and then stretches the defense out with the three ball. Improving every year, helping the Pelicans elevate to another level, Ingram is only 25 years old, so he's really just now getting into his prime. Containing Ingram on the floor is very hard as he has a strong enough handle to take you to the rack, or he can elevate over most defenders to shoot right over them. Having a player that can score the ball from the inside and the outside is very great, as they aren't limited to just scoring in one way and can constantly keep the defense on their toes. Putting up 28 points in his first two outings of the season already, you can see just how efficient Ingram was on the court both games, and he was putting the ball in the basket all types of ways. Posting up Royce O'Neal here, after two hard dribbles establishing himself in the paint, Ingram gives the little shimmy which gets O'Neal to bite on it, and then he fades back and knocks down the warm-up J. Then putting it on the deck to go score at the rim, Ingram gets past Oubre off the dribble, and once met by Plumlee in the paint, Ingram shields him off with that left and then swings around with the right hand to finish the layup. And if you leave him open, well, he has no hesitation and lets it fly from deep. So it's safe to say Ingram is a capable 3-level scorer who's pretty hard to stop offensively. Not really being the flashy type of player who's going to mix you up with many different combos, Ingram makes it look simple with 1 to 2 moves and he goes to score the ball. Last season, when getting in less than 8 feet from the basket, Ingram converted on 56% of his 239 attempts, and although this isn't a breathtaking stat, it just shows you when getting downhill, Ingram is more than capable of putting the ball in the hoop. Staying patient, using his length, and even though he doesn't look physical and imposing, he uses that strength as well to score in the paint. Attacking Terrence Mann here, Ingram spins off once hitting the paint, and then slightly up fakes to freeze the D, then steps through to finish the lay. Taking his time and reading what the defense is giving him, rather than being out of control, Ingram changes paces on his way to the rack and doesn't get sped up, which would force tough attempts at the rim. The special thing about Ingram when driving to the basket is how well he uses his height and his length to go finish. Standing at 6'8" with a 7'3" wingspan, when he is in stride to the bucket, it's hard to really stay in front, but if you manage to do so, then this is where Ingram can use his long arms to extend out and over any contest at the rim. After receiving it on the kickout, Ingram attacks the middle of the paint, and as Powell slides to help, Ingram takes 2 long steps and then extends far out for the finger roll. When you combine all his strengths when attacking the basket, you get a pretty fierce finisher and someone you can depend on to go get a bucket. Seeing it all in one possession, coming off the screen, Ingram slows down and set Bazley up for the cross, gets past with the handle, and then stretches out far over the defense, takes the hit while laying it home for the and one. Key things I like about Brandon Ingram when he finishes in the paint is that he doesn't need to get super high risking his body in the air, he doesn't land really rough on the ground a lot, and he doesn't shy away from the contact as he finishes straight through the defense rather than tons of flashy and high difficulty layups. Now I'm not sure what you think about that, or do you like that playstyle, but to me it's just more dependable and a longer lasting finishing style. Since Ingram gets downhill with ease and converts at a fair rate, if he attacks more this season, it could help his game out tremendously. Not only will it get him easier looks at the basket when getting past the defense, it'll also grant him more chances to get fouled and go to the line. Tying his career high in free throw attempts last season at 5.9 a game, Ingram sunk 82% of these, so you don't want to send him shooting freebies. I'm pretty sure we will see Ingram get up to around an 85% free throw shooter, as 2 seasons ago Ingram was shooting 87%. The downhill game of Ingram isn't even the most special aspect of his scoring. It's actually the way Ingram can shoot the ball anywhere on the court and get to his spots no matter what the defense does. Coming off screens, defenders don't know whether to play the drive because of how well he can finish, or if they should step up and contest the jumper. Whether it's off quick combos before rising over the defense, coming off the catch, or operating out of a post-up, Ingram can knock it down in many types of ways, and the defense can't really stop it. On all 299 attempts in the 8 to 16 feet range, Ingram drained 50% of these shots last season, and I don't see this dropping anytime soon. When coming off screens, Ingram is great at stopping on a dime as the defense momentum keeps them going and pulling up right over them. As he attacks Gobert off the screen, once getting into his body, Ingram plants hard, and before Gobert can really even bother the shot, he is already in motion. This works for him to attack bigs off the roll, but also as smaller guards are up under him, he can stop and pop even easier over them to drop it in. This area is like a lost art in the game, as the NBA is shifting more towards a 3-point playstyle, but for Ingram it's his bread and butter and he's highly effective. He can come off ball just as well, and this makes him even more valuable to the offense. Some players can only operate good when they have the ball in their hands, but Ingram can run his defenders off screens or flash into open areas on the floor to go get the shot off. He runs Barnes off this pin down here, and when curling off of it, Sabonis slides back to play the drive, and Ingram just elevates over him to drop it in. I mean, it's pretty hard to guard, right? You honestly think you have him contained, but he can then just pull up out of nowhere, and with this high release point on the jumper, you're probably not gonna block him. This also goes for his mid to low post-ups as well. Unbothered whether it's a big, a guy his size, or a smaller guard, Ingram can use his precise footwork out of these post-ups to give the defense all types of problems. Johnson plays great defense and bodying up with Ingram on this attack, but after one initial fill-out bump, Ingram is unbothered by the smothering defense and dots his eye. Improving every year, it's going to be hard to stop Ingram on his way to get a bucket this season, and we've already seen that in the first 2 games. Hopefully this year he can step up his 3-point shooting, as he only knocked down 32% of his 4 attempts last year, but since that was a low year on his career, I'm pretty sure we will see major improvements. Scoring the ball is never something you have to worry about from Ingram, as doing it night in and night out, he's very consistent, and he provides a lot of value on the floor. With Ingram being such a threat when it comes to scoring the ball, he commands a lot of defensive attention, and this opens up his playmaking on the court. Averaging a career high last season in assists at 5.6 a game, Ingram was great at finding his teammates when the defense collapsed. This skill is extremely important to have, because if you're a high level scorer, you're gonna have the defense scheme against you or draw more doubles when you're trying to score the ball, so being able to quickly make a decision and fire a pass to the open man helps the offense out a ton. We've seen Ingram navigate off screens time and time again and find open teammates everywhere on the floor, and with his patience to let plays develop, it makes his facilitating that much better. This season is very early, and we've all seen what Ingram was capable of last season and last postseason. This year, I think we will see another leap from Ingram, as this Pelicans team is healthy and looking like they have tons of chemistry. Players like Brandon Ingram tend to get overlooked due to his more simplistic playstyle, but honestly, there's a lot that goes into it. I could make a much longer video detailing the ins and outs of his game, but it's early in the season, and I want to see how his game evolves even more. Do you think Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans will have a huge year? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before you head over to watch this Trae Young vs Ja Morant pick who you want to build around video, or go watch this Giannis analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.